Today, Idaho lawmakers took on the federal land debate, asking the question, would the state be better off managing its own public lands? Well, Jake Lieber is live at the State House to explain some of the changes that some people want, as well as how they'll be paid for. Jake.
Well, Brent and Natalie, supporters of this say that the state would do a better job of managing these lands. Right now, they argue that the fact that federal lands are at 60% here in Idaho owned by the federal government, that they lose political power because of that. But detractors say that that would require them changing the state constitution. They just don't feel like they have the time and money to do that. Federal land management is a hot-button issue across the West, especially after the wildlife refuge takeover in Burns, Oregon to protest BLM policies. Today, a group of Utah lawmakers presented to the House and Senate resource committees arguing that land should be owned by the state. Over 60% of Idaho land is owned by the federal government, and some legislators say the state could save millions by managing it themselves and put the excess towards other departments.
We would net, after expenses, $411 million every year. And then that money could go to schools.
However, other lawmakers say that would require a change to the Idaho and federal constitution, and the state can't afford to do it.
It costs about $800 million a year in federal money to run the lands that is in the state of Idaho. We don't have that kind of budget.
It was a packed house here in the Lincoln Auditorium. Lots of people came to this hearing, and the large majority of them were very against this idea of this federal land being owned by the states. Their argument is that if the state owns the land, that they may sell it off to private interests instead of keeping it open to the public. Live in Boise, Jake Lieber, KBOI 2 News.